Call the meeting of the Park Board to order. Can we stand for the pledge, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can we have the roll call, please?
Mr. Moffett,
Present.
Mr. Rainwater,
Present.
Ms. DeFanco,
Present.
Mr. Bradkey,
Present.
Mr. Sobek,
Present.
Mr. Pondinas,
Present.
and Mr. Schilling.
Excellent. I'd like to welcome Mr. Moffett to the board. So welcome. We'll move through the year. We'll move on to election of officers. I'd like to entertain a nomination for president of the Park Board for 2020.
I'd like to nominate Mr. Bradkey for president.
Okay. Any other nominations?
Need a second.
Second.
We need a second. Okay.
Second.
Okay. We'll move on to nominations for vice president.
Melissa Savoco.
That'd be Stefanko. Second. Okay. Any other nominations? No? Okay. I'd like to entertain a motion for Frank Bray to be president of the Park Board and Melissa Stefanko to be the vice president of the Park Board for calendar year 2020.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Seeing no opposition, the president and vice president positions are set. We'll move on to new business. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve or renew the contract for pond treatments with.
Minutes.
What? Oh, I missed the minutes. Sorry, let me go back. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the minutes of our last meeting held Tuesday, December 17th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Seeing no opposition, minutes are approved. Now we'll move to new business again.
Mr. President, can I interrupt you for a second?
You certainly can.
I would like to read something into the, before we get going with this, and that'll reflect later on, if you would let me.
Sure.
All right. We did some research, and I know I've talked to some of you, so I'd like to read this. The Park Board is able to approve the hiring of park employees in the absence of a town manager. But the position listed on this agenda is not a new hire. This is an internal transfer. The Personnel Policy Manual clearly states that departments function under the administrative guidance and control of the town council, along with the town manager, who is responsible for the day-to-day management and operation of the town. The policy also states the council's rights include, but not are limited to, transferring employees. At the January 8th, 2020 Town Council meeting, the Town Council approved President Sweats to sign for personnel moves and transfers. This maintenance foreman position, for lack of better words, is a shared position along with Public Works, hence why this is an internal transfer, not a new hire. It will include the inspection and upkeep of park equipment, trimming trees and bushes, general park maintenance, being on call for snow plowing, water main breaks, and branch and leaf pickup, and Christmas in the park, assembling and moving picnic tables and setting up safety village programs, etc. The purpose of this position is to help Chip so that they can focus on bettering our park programs, which are severely lacking. We reached out to Chip as a courtesy and to get his input on this internal transfer, as well as included him in the interviews. Chip first refused the request from the town council to participate in this process. He was then told it was mandatory that he participate, and he did so unwillingly. Mike and I have asked on several occasions for Chip's input, and he has refused to cooperate with us. This type of behavior from a department head may have been allowable under the previous administration, but it will not be acceptable under this new leadership. We did receive a paper from Chip dated January 17th, but some of the qualifications listed for each of the candidates seemed misplaced with other candidates' qualifications. I would like to hope this was done in error and not deliberately shown any bias. I am requesting that this item be removed from the agenda, as the town council has the authority to make internal transfers. This is a domino effect decision, and we are not willing to have either the Public Works Department or the Parks Department fail because of potential biased input from a department head. We are looking to work together for the best interest of our town, and it is really unfortunate that we couldn't work as a team on this decision. And I would like to give you each something that we talked about, and this is out of the policy manual, so. You get. And it'll tell you what I just read or explained. So I looked over that information. This is a transfer, so I know I talked to some of you, and we are very happy that we can help you guys. I think that the town council, Mike and I, and everybody else that's involved, we could really make the parks program a lot better. And if you have any questions.
I'm a bit confused, so what are you looking for from us?
Well, right now, what I want to do is, we have an executive session tomorrow, and I want to take this back to the town council, and I want to talk about that with them. And if you have any questions for us or for them, then I can relay that back to them for tomorrow.
Anybody have any questions?
So we're taking us off the list, not even.
Yeah,
bringing it up
yeah,
for
that's
us?
what I would like to do right now, yes.
Yeah, you're saying we don't have any say on who we hire.
Well, there's a difference.
What?
When you transfer somebody from one department to the other,
Yeah.
we can do that. In all due respect to you guys, when we got into this, I didn't know all that we were gonna have to do, and I don't wanna step on anybody's toes, but in the research process, and with an attorney, we had talked with the attorney, and I'm not trying to bulldog you guys into anything, but we do have the right by how it's written up in the policy right
I've
now.
wondered, since I've been on the park board, here we got a park board, and then we've got the parks, but we never had any workers.
Right.
No one
It's
worked for the parks.
what it is, sir, is it's a new horizon for everybody. And when we started this, we advertised for, internally we advertised for somebody, to transfer over, police department, wherever, where anybody in town could have transferred over, and we only had 4 applicants. You guys didn't know about it, and we tried to send everybody an email as to what was going on. Mike is new, and with all due respect, we didn't, we're not trying to do anything different, but we're trying to get somebody in this position, so in springtime, we're ready to go and possibly get somebody else. We've talked to Public Works about getting another truck. We want to get our boots on the ground, and we want to build our Parks Department up. Right now, our Parks Department is not that great. You look at what we advertise, we got one of the best towns, the safest town. The police department's great, the fire department's good, but our Parks Department lacks in a lot of things. And that's been over the years. So what we want to do is really go forward and improve the Parks Department. The people of this town deserve that. And that's what we're trying to do.
Well, the conclusion I came to, the old town manager, we wanted to spend our park money on everything except the parks.
Right, and we have impact fees that we get for the park, and
Yeah.
I believe that's about $1,836 per new house that comes in. I'm sure there's money in the account, and we want to be able to provide better services. I think the word was quality of life for people. If you got, you're going to have kids, or you got kids and you're going to have another one, you want a place that you can have your kids play in a park. We got a parks program. Most of the stuff that's on here is canceled or, not part of the Parks Department, Fire Department, CPR classes. That is not the Parks Department. Soccer, that's not really ours. This is Dyer's stuff. Dyer has loads and loads of stuff. What have we been doing? I mean, I feel ashamed to a certain extent that we should be able to have better programs for our children and the families that are coming to town. You go to Dyer, this comes to my house from Dyer, but Dyer, they get better response from our residents than they do their own. They make more money from our residents. I want to change that. I want to get somebody in there. When I ran for election, in my videos, I said, one-man park department is not right. We need to change that, and that's what we're trying to do. And excuse me for my eagerness to do this, but when I said, yeah, we want you to be part of the park board, that's what I've worked for the town for 15 years. I see it. We need help, and that's what I'm trying to do for you guys. I respect each and every one of you and your opinions, and that's why I wanted to go first with this. But yeah, we want to table this. I want to take it back to the town council, and I want them to look at this and see what they can come up with.
Thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
Although I'd like to say, I had a very different conversation with the president of the town council right before this meeting, and your statements don't represent what he told me, so I think we need to table that discussion, because it's very different.
We can do that.
I'd like to
Thank
move
you.
on with our agenda. I'd like to entertain a motion to renew the contract for the pond treatment with McNamara Aquatics.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, seeing no opposition, contract's renewed. I'd like to entertain a motion to renew the contract with Lisa Knott and Cherie Shields, who are our instructors.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, seeing no opposition, those contracts are approved. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the spring programs and fees as outlined in our package, packages.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, the spring programs are approved. We'll have to amend the agenda to review the budget and docket by the clerk's office. The clerk is not present, so I'd like to entertain a motion to do, one, amend our agenda and remove the review of the budget and docket for this month.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, seeing no opposition, that will be deferred. And I'd like to entertain a motion to defer the applications, the review of the applications for the park maintenance program.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, seeing no opposition, that is approved. We have no old business currently. We'll move to payment of bills. I'd like to entertain a motion for a bill APV payment in the total dollar amount of $12,835.04.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, seeing no opposition, bill payment is approved. Any public comment? No public comment. We'll move to adjournment. I'd like to
This would be under any and all. Going back to the position for the maintenance foreman, we want to get this up and going. The maintenance foreman, right now, in the Parks Department, right now is the winter time, that's the downtime. This is the time that he needs to be setting up and getting his stuff ready to go. They have a rollout come March, you know. I say delay in this is only hampering his efforts to get his own thing up and going, you know. One thing, as you know, you go through town, and it's no fault of Chip. He's a one-man department, but as we walked through and went door to door with people, a big issue was their parks, you know, the way they were upkept. And when Chip was brought here in 2004, he was supposed to have a staff of people to work with. He hasn't gotten that, you know. I want to be able to move forward this position and get it going.
Okay, thank you.
I've got one thing, yeah, the old town manager. The bike trail on White Oak, from the bike trail to the big subdivision out there, they spent almost $100,000 on the bike trail, which isn't even in a park, it's on the street of our park money, for a bike trail to hook Schilling subdivision into the bike trail. So,
Well, that predates
They-
my time on the council.
Yeah, well, they tried to spend our park money any place besides for our parks. We've accomplished it a lot. We've gotten rid of a lot of the mulch and got the soft surface in, and we've got 3 or 4 new parks completely rebuilt with new playground equipment and everything. But there's a lot.
Well, with this position, we wanna use the park money in the parks,
Yeah, that's what has to be done.
you know. We're not intending on using your park money to have them do other things other than parks.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's what I wanted too. Yeah, you're right there, Mike.
And if I believe right, Mr. Rainwater, you donated the land by your house for the park, right?
Yeah, the
Yeah, and I thank you for that. I thank you for your generosity.
park there,
We
that
appreciate
corner
it.
lot,
Thank you.
but when I was trying to donate it to the park, those guys, they didn't want it. I said, well, it's not a swamp, is that why you don't want it? But, so it finally came.
most of our park property is in underwater real estate.
Yeah. He says, oh, we don't do that no more, so I don't know. All
Anybody
right, I'm done.
Anybody else have anything? All right, I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So move.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, meeting adjourned.